Yo, what's up guys? Bill here of Classic Rock and Metal Review, here to give you a list of my 20 favorite pickups for the year from the bootleg market. Also some stuff off of eBay and Amazon, Amazon's gray market. You know, if you have a concert and you want to put it out officially, even though it's still really not official, you just say that it was on the radio. That's how they're doing it now. Anyway, before we get started, if you can like or subscribe, that would be cool. All right, so this is just 20 of my favorite pickups. I'll explain why. It's not really necessarily it's going to be 20 to 1 like my favorite, but not necessarily what I think is the best, all right? Just for various reasons, these are my 20 favorites. Go over that. All right, so Amazon Gray Market, I think under 10 bucks. Allman Brothers Band, live at Merriweather Post Pavilion, 1979. If you know your Brothers of the Road video, DVD, part of that was filmed in, I think, 81. Part of it was filmed in 79. This is the one of the whole shows from that year from the Merriweather Post. Really cool to hear just the whole entire 79 show, you know. I'm a sucker for those eras from bands where they're like past their prime and haven't yet done the comeback yet, you know, so those quirky eras. That would be this for the Allmans for sure. The reunited, I think, in 79, lasted till early 82. Anyway, it's not a necessarily amazing show. They just do some of the songs from that era that you just don't really, they wouldn't do again. Try It One More Time, Crazy Love. You also got Need Your Love So Bad, on top of all the classics, Blue Sky. Also Can't Take It With You's on here. Sound quality is not perfect, but it's pretty good. And actually, as it gets further along, it does sound like it's coming off an album, a vinyl album. You hear some clicks, every time it goes around. But not until towards the end. Overall, pretty good sound. And like, I got it pretty cheap, so I'm pretty happy that I got a concert I'm really interested in. Under 10 bucks. Pretty good sound. Came with all this packaging. Actually came as a digipack. I cut it out of there to put it into this jewel case. Long story for another time when you're really bored. All right, number 19. I'll just pick one of these shows, but actually this came out of a 3-pack called America Archives. I already opened the box here to show you. The Sigma Sound Studios show for them has been passed around in the bootleg market forever. It was done in Philly, FM radio broadcast. This one's a legit broadcast, Sigma Sound Studios. So you get the standalone CD for that, which has a bunch of stuff that was, they never really put down on album. Come out since then on like the box set and these archives releases they're doing. But you also get not only that, and I think I paid about 20 bucks for all this stuff. A 1978 King Biscuit Flower Hour show that's 2 CDs. That alone goes for 20 bucks now. And you get a show from Germany, 96, which is pretty cool because they had some new songs, some songs that weren't even actually coming out for another few more years are on here. And some stuff from the 94 album, Homecoming? Hourglass, sorry about that. Anyway, the Sigma Sound Studios on here is really cool. All right, part of a 3-pack, which you can't get anymore. I'm glad. Some of these things, man, you see them, you kind of got to grab them. Even if you have a thought about getting them, you might as well grab them when they're like in the $10, $15 range, because eventually they're out of print and then they're, 3 times as much. So I had this already, a really great copy of it. So this was just the, finally a nice package of it. Kalamazoo, 1982, Ozzy, last soundboard show of Randy, as far as I know. So just nice to have it finally in a nice brand new condition, numbered sticker and all that stuff. Now I might have got this maybe the late 2021, so, but somewhere around there. It's awesome, love it. How can you not? I like Randy has that like phaser effect going on his guitar here, which is so much different than all the other bootlegs that I have up until then. Sounds great though, of course. Miss Randy, man, rest in peace. So all right, number 17. Picked this up earlier this year. Roger Waters, Project K.A.O.S. Supposedly, the Radio K.A.O.S. album was supposed to be a lot longer, more involved, more complex. Roger I guess, who knows? It ended up being just a regular 8-song album. Well, he ended up putting out a lot of other songs on various EPs and 12 inches and stuff. So it's all assembled here. And really, you know, I think Radio K.A.O.S is easily his worst album. I like it, but I don't love it just because it's unlovable. It's just not that great. So a couple good songs on there. So it's just a lot more interesting listening to Radio K.A.O.S now. I don't even know why. It's a new spin on an old, not even an old favorite, just new spin on an old album. And it kind of works for me. I can't say it like makes K.A.O.S any better. It's just a more interesting version of it. Now you don't need all those other, you know, 12 inches and because I think I have 1 or 2 of them on CD back there. So just nice to have them all in one spot. All right, this one I picked up off of eBay, and it actually does come from the Japan market as far as I can tell. The Eagles, the LA Long Run, March of 1980, Los Angeles, just like you would think with that title. There's a lot of versions floating around of this that are just single disc, and they cut off some great stuff. This is the 2 CD version, as it should be, so the full show. They do, and you know, Long Run's not one of their better albums, but it does have a lot of good stuff on it, and this is obviously the only tour you're going to hear that stuff from. I think you get 6 songs from Long Run on here, and that's just a really cool aspect to this. You also get, you know, I have a ton of Eagles bootlegs. None of them have Life in the Fast Lane, except for this, so cool. Not that that's my favorite song or anything, but, you know, if you're a completist like me when it comes to the Eagles, you know, it's nice to have a live version, soundboard of that. Soundboard, if I didn't say it already. Great one here. There's probably I think there's another version of this out now, a newer version, but that sounds good. Number 15, Boston, Look Ahead, live at the Spectrum, 1976. Just a great classic Boston show. Musicianship here is awesome. You know, if you think these guys are, you know, there's all that talk about Tom just being a studio genius. They sound amazing here live. Great stuff. Awesome. Love it. All right. More recent pickup, maybe late summer. Feather in the Wind, and this was a pretty cheap one. 10 bucks, 11 bucks. Single CD. I think this is Empress Valley. They are like a quality label. You need to pay some bucks for their stuff. In this case, you don't get like a jewel case or anything, but it's in like a nice static free plastic sleeve. Best of the 80 tour, you know, so kind of cool having a compilation of bootleg recordings, and you know, and not too many of these out there. So for, you know, for 10 bucks, this spurred me on to get a couple of the 80 concerts. So I still play this, but now I have a couple 80 concerts thanks to this. Didn't realize how good they still were in 80. I need a drink. All right, number 13. Picked this up off eBay, but it's Japan market. And I had my eye on it in the Japan market. It's been usually sold out. Every once in a while, they'll have a couple copies or whatever. And then it seems like in less than a week, it's sold out again. Thin Lizzy, Wild Eyed Boys. Like I said, I got it off eBay. I think I paid around 20 bucks for it. So it's going for 50 on the Japan market. Now, they did just come out with a newer version of one of these shows, but it's 2 CDs. One of the shows is Hammersmith Odeon, November 76, and the other one, pretty popular show you can get out there, Gray Market, Amazon. There's a newer version on the Japan market of it, and that's the Chicago 76, April 76 show. Jailbreak tour, obviously. Still glad I got this one. You know, it's kind of a steal too. It going over 50 bucks, got it for 20 something, and it's awesome. Love Thin Lizzy, love Jailbreak, winner. Judas Priest, this is another one that I downloaded off the internet 10 or 15 years ago because the sound was perfect. The sound is no better on this one. I'm just glad I finally have a nice, you know, official, unofficial copy. Zodiac, this really deserves its own review. This case is giving me a little bit of a problem, but there you go. Unleashed in New York. This was a private party show that they played, and it sounds like they're in a small club, the Mud Club of New York. 79, perfect sound, great set. You know, pretty short set. I think it's 10 songs or something. But all right, here's another one. Well, this was actually a total upgrade on the 10-year-old version that I had. Ozzy Definitive Memphis 1982. Did a full review for this. I'll drop the link to that one. It's awesome. Brad Gillis era. Sounds great. I have no problem with Brad Gillis. Play guitar for Ozzy all he wants. Number 10, Kiss, Amityville, 1973. I'll leave a link for this full review. Does it get any more fun than listening to Kiss in the early days? Soundboard quality there. This is a gray market release. I was listening to this on YouTube a couple years back doing a painting job. Played it like twice within a week. Got it off of Amazon. QUEENSRYCHE, Storm in Detroit, Harpo's, 1984. Just phenomenal. I mean, you know, it's hard to believe that you can play such technical music so perfectly live. They pull it off. They do it. Amazing. Despite the stupid 86 garb they got on. All right, number 8, Black Sabbath, another gray market Amazon release, live in Lausanne, April of 70. Just crush it here. Half-hour version of The Warning, or Warning, I keep calling it The Warning. Also, the old school versions of War Pigs, Walpurgis, the old 3-verse version of Black Sabbath. Audience recording sounds awesome, and you'll never hear me say that, or rarely. Now here's another one I picked up just this past year. Pink Floyd. This might have been late 21 actually, but we're doing some catching up, being the first year of the channel, right? Floyd in Philadelphia, 1987 Soundboard's official title there. Now it's only half the show, or not, maybe not even. It's echoes, and then you know, the whole lapse of reason basically. But it's Soundboard. There's a small patch for 15-20 seconds at one point, but it's 99% Soundboard. And echo. You know, my cousin went to this show, and I didn't get to see Floyd till the following year, like May of '88. I was always jealous he got to this September of '87 show. I know we're not talking classic vintage Roger era here. Believe me, I was pretty much anti this Floyd for the longest time. I finally come around in the last few years. Always liked it, just never loved it. Now I do love it. But I always was jealous he got to hear Echoes live, even without, you know, Roger being there. Such a Floyd Pompeii fan. So finally get to hear this. And you know, he used to always say, yeah, it was half-assed, it wasn't that great. It actually is pretty great. They do combine like the 2 verses together some weird way, which when I was first listening to this, I was thinking I was in for like a 10-minute version. I don't know why they bother doing that with the verses, because the version ends up being 20 minutes. So, but they save themselves, you know, a minute. Anyway, that's killer. Number 6, Metallica, No Life Till Leather. Never really heard this except for on YouTube, so I never knew there were 2 versions of it either. They're both here, killer bonus tracks. I'll leave a link for this awesome CD review that I did earlier in the year. This one I just got to recently, Judas Priest, Definitive Jawbreaker. I think it's live in New Mexico. Double CD from the Defenders tour. I was at this tour, so I know that they put a version. It might have even been the same show. No, I think it was Long Beach, out on the 30th anniversary of this. I was just too afraid to pick that up, and it was going to be touched up in the studio and bullshit, basically. It's how I look at it, man. If they're touching shit up afterwards, not my thing. Here's the real deal, raw, warts and all. Halford, a little off his game. I'll take that any day over some fake show. Just my style. Awesome reliving this. Killer. Just did a episode on this. This is the original Vertigo UK LP pressed onto a CD, and it is all that. If you don't have the original Vertigo UK LP, then you haven't heard Volume 4. There, I said it. This is a damn good, reasonable facsimile thereof. Get it. That's all I can tell you. Just giving you my advice. If you would have took my advice on this one earlier this year, you know, you've had it, and it wouldn't be sold, because it's sold out right now. Legendary Masters, Black Sabbath. You get the classic Worcester Mass show, and the Bill Ward demo tape from the sessions of Born Again that leaked out many years ago. 2 CDs, one of the demos, one of the great Worcester show. Worcester. Working on it, guys. And then, hold on, I got something out of order here. Number 3. All right, so whatever. Number 2 is going to be, it really was Sabbath, but I screwed up. Kiss, Sioux City, 1982 soundboard. You know, Creatures of the Night was a Kiss album to me before. Now I'm really loving it. I got to admit, I just, you know, got swept up in all the Creatures stuff going on with the Super Deluxe 40th Anniversary box set. Leapt into this, loving this one. It's led me to buy, you know, the demos off the box set at least, and probably as soon as I can get another one of these shows. Awesome. Maybe if if I had gotten that 6 months ago, it wouldn't be so high on the list, but nevertheless, here we are. It's December. And I think this was my favorite, man, for the year. Dokken Breaking the Chains, an album I used to have back in the day, I could never get into. This is the original Carrere version from 2 years prior, 1981. Has both the German version and the French version on one CD. German version sounds better. Raw as hell, demo-like quality, really does a favor to the music. It's heavier and just better. Songs are good. They were all just too a little fluffed up for me on the American version. You also get a DVD of them on drawing a blank, Beat Club, 1982, January of 1982. So only I think a few weeks or so after the original Carrere version of the album. German mix is the way to go. Sounds killer. It's the first part of the CD. So there you go, guys. My favorite 20 either bootleg or gray market area releases for the year of 2022. I'll leave links for the ones that I did original or complete episodes of. Hope you all having good holidays, and I will catch you later. If you can like or subscribe, that would be